only thing with the White Sox, I say they've been coasting into the playoffs, and Tampa Bay's been having to win. It just depends on who gets hot.
The Philadelphia Eagles do have an opportunity.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say the Atlanta Falcons.
No, fuck no.
Oh god, yeah, that would have been warranted.
Paul George to show up again, and they need Reggie Jackson to be the best point guard left standing outside of Trae Young, who's hurt.
Oh my God, it's another day, 2 days in a row, and we are here because we don't know how to stick to a schedule and just talk too much. So we are back. I am Tbone. Keith is with me. We are MV3, and we are here to talk all things college football, which kicks off in about an hour or two. Keith, how have you been in the last 24 hours? You know,
I've been good. We're under 100 degrees here in Arizona, so we are.
That's nice. That's
nice.
Oh
yeah, 113 days in a row this week. The streak is broken. Summer's here. Summer is here. Football's here. It's a great time. So yeah, no, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's gross. I don't. Why did you go there? Why? It's gross.
Because of this. I don't care what anyone says. When in December and January, when you can sit outside and watch football at a bar, it is a difference.
It's like 85 here today. I was outside. I had lunch on a patio. I could have had lunch. I could have had lunch.
You're not there yet.
I will never be there. I am a large individual. I will never be there where it's like, yeah, let's go sit outside. Now, if it's like 60 degrees, I'm all in. The minute it hits, like, I'm good with like 75. Once it hits 80, it's like, okay, what's the humidity? Like,
yeah, we'll do it again. Dry heat.
This is not dry heat, even what we got right now. Like, I got people planning to go to the beach tomorrow. 85 and humid tomorrow. No, thank you.
Coldest day of the year last year was 56.
That's so gross. I can't live with that. I can't live with that. I'm glad you can.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, how you chose that. You chose
legal
to live
sports
there.
Betting, folks.
Yeah. Hey, it would be a perk. But I will contest that I would probably lose a lot more money if I had the ability to live bet shit.
Oh yeah.
And like I have to make it now. Granted, I live 20 minutes from the first exit off I-94 into Illinois. I make the run frequently. I can do. If I have my bets good and saved, I can go there and back and make the bets within an hour. That's not awful.
Yeah,
but
I've been there too.
Yeah,
so
it's not bad, right?
It.
There's been too many times. Now there's been times like, oh, I'd live bet this comeback, and then it happens. But I would do that a lot, and I would lose a lot more money. So I'm kind of glad that it's not legal here.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not legal in the sense of an app. You can go down to Pato and go rip a bet anytime. They make that pretty accessible today.
They here it's almost too easy.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I just watching the game. Like, I get a feeling. Right. It's like, oh, I got a feeling. I'm gonna rip this bet $100 on plus 200. Like what? Like, okay, I guess. Go ahead.
And it's gone.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and that failed 5 minutes later. Cool, great.
Yeah. But
we have a game tonight. A pretty good game.
We have a couple.
Well, I'm talking the important one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Illinois, Nebraska.
Yes. We can start with it just because it's in 2 hours. Yeah.
I guess Stanford Syracuse is pretty good too. Yeah, that's fair. I overlooked that one.
It definitely is. But
yeah, the top 25 matchup, 22 Nebraska against 24 Illinois. Illinois being coached by the one and only Brett B., who I don't know how Wisconsin people feel. I don't like the guy. He was an asshole during my recruiting, but I don't like
him. I have a friend that actually knows him well and is on their staff now. So, so I don't hate on Illinois. Do I? Yeah, think
you can't.
They're a good football team necessarily? No. I don't know really how they're 3-0. They've had a good win against Kansas. I think Kansas lost the week after that anyway, so that's not really that good
I
win.
believe.
So
nope. Kansas is. Oh no, sorry. Let me see. Kansas
just the
is
fact
1-2.
Illinois is ranked. Just the fact Illinois is ranked right now is different. It's different. They've had good seasons, but it's different.
Yeah, they have their moments. Like, what was it? A couple years ago when they had the Michigan transfer and Brandon Peters, and I believe they upset Wisconsin, right?
Yeah,
that did happen. That did happen. I'm not tripping. I don't think Bielema was the coach. I think that was Lovie Smith,
right? They're kind of pretty good against the Badgers of late.
Yep. But that was a whole different staff, right? Wasn't that Lovie Smith at the time?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Either way, so Illinois kind of has a similar in basketball. They kind of have a resurgence every so often. Like, they're not traditionally good. Illinois basketball is obviously better in general, but usually it's their defense. I know it was a couple years ago. Their defense was pretty stout. They've only given up 26 points across 3 games. Granted, right. Eastern Illinois, Central Michigan, and Kansas. Say what you will, but it's not. You should, if you are a good defense, that's what you should do against those teams, right?
Yeah.
Like
this game to me is fascinating because they both actually have. Well, I love Raiola, the Nebraska kid.
I agree. I love Dylan Raiola. I was going to say
Patty Mahomes.
Yeah, part of it's a little weird. It's borderline like, hey man, if you are going to emulate yourself, he is probably the one to do it for this generation. I get it. I don't hate on it. It looks a little weird, but we were going to get into some highs and talking a little bit. But I was going to say, if he keeps leading Nebraska to wins, I mean, his stat line now it's not as good as Cam Ward's. It's about half as good.
Yeah,
but almost 700 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Like, this guy's a fucking freshman. He's 18 years old.
No, he's legit. I could see him next year being in the Heisman running. Now, just to quickly get through this game. So Altmaier, the quarterback for Illinois too, he's 6 touchdowns, no picks in the first 3 games. Kind of the same as Raiola in a sense.
Yeah.
And these teams have scored points. Do you think this is going to go back to the normal Big Ten style of it's going to be low scoring? The total is 42.5. Is it going to be low scoring, or have these teams turned a corner where Nebraska and Illinois are not known as, okay, you see them on the board and you're like under? That's something I'm trying to figure out. That
I would say usually only because Nebraska has consistently shot themselves in the foot over the course of the years. And that is something I know. I was a big proponent when they hired Matt Rule. I'm like, that's the guy you want. He's a culture changer. He can build teams. He did it at Temple. He did it at Baylor. And if we look, when we talking NFL, well, look at, are we sure Carolina's ownership isn't the problem and not, it wasn't Matt Rule in Carolina?
Right.
I've always been a proponent of Matt Rule. I think he seems like a very real, like, a player's coach, but hey, we're here to work hard. We're Big Ten football. Very, I don't want to say Michigan-esque because I think their offense is a lot more dynamic, or can be. Right now, our fucking offense is anemic, but it's whatever.
New quarterback this week.
Hey, pumped. Pumped. And so I think I like 42.5. I would probably take the over because I could easily see it be 24-21.
See, and that's my point. The spread's 9. The spread's 9.
I don't like that. I would take Illinois. I would take Illinois.
That's my in the game because the number's over a touchdown. Again, it is just too early for me to say Nebraska's world beaters, and they're just going to take a team that's probably average in the Big Ten, middle of the road in the new Big Ten, in Illinois. They're not going to go and just boat race them. If they do, it's because Raiola is just really good. And if he does do that, I'm okay with losing that at that point. I'm not, but I am because he's just better than them. But I just don't think he's played a Big Ten defense yet. It's different. He played Colorado.
Correct.
And that's
fake defense.
That's not even, I don't know what that is.
And they didn't I don't think they scored in the second half against Colorado.
Yeah, no,
it was 28-10. It was like they were up 28-0 early.
They didn't have to, but
they didn't have to. It was really just like keep away and we'll be fine.
Right.
even if they get them, if they like 31-13, I could see that being, but that's still hitting the over. I don't like the spread. I would take Illinois in that sense.
That's what I'm doing as we speak.
Man, that is tough.
I just think the guy hasn't played in a Big Ten game yet. I think it's a little bit different.
But he's at home. He's at home.
I know that, but I don't think
but they also played Colorado. Now you can think what you want about Colorado, but it's at least it's a power or not a power. Well, it is, but it's a Power 5 team. It's a rivalry game. Whether you want to believe in the Colorado-Nebraska rivalry, it is to them and their fans. And he performed well. So I'm like, yes, he has not played a good Big Ten defense. Colorado has Hunter, that's about it. But he's shown up in a big moment at home. If this was on the road, I'm 100% on board.
On the road, this spread probably 3
or 4. Yep.
4.
So
I just don't. You can't convince me that Illinois is just 10 double digits worse than Nebraska right now.
So I gotta get out of here to go make my bets, and I want to put this game in there. So I got to be down in Illinois. So I got to leave here about 6:20 to give myself some comfortability. So we got about an hour.
Got it. Yeah,
but
we have an hour here.
Yeah, but I would probably buy it up to 10.5 because I like a double digit. I don't like 9. That gets too iffy. I don't like 9. 9 fucking scares me. Give me a touchdown and a field goal plus a half. 10.5. I'll probably go the over 10.5, or I might even go an alt and make it 41.5. Just
42.5. That number is awful.
Yeah, 41.5. I love it.
Yeah, that's different.
42, and it's like, it makes sense. So I'll do a couple probably of an alt and get that out there. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. It should be a good game.
I'm excited.
It also said it's 91 degrees in Nebraska. Fuck that.
Oh my god,
gross. And it's like
roasting.
And it's at 5. It's 5. It might be
5 my time, 7 your time.
Yeah. So what is Nebraska at 6? Are they in between us? Or are they 6 o'clock?
No, I think they're central. I don't know.
They're not.
I don't know.
Mountain, right?
Can't say I've ever been there.
I have not a good experience. I flew to Metagirl. Not a great time.
Oh God!
Didn't go well.
In Nebraska. That didn't go
well. Didn't go well. Okay.
We'll have to do that on a separate episode.
Oh yeah, that was the
worst situations.
I think I have the videos because I think I like blogged it to be like I'm a fucking idiot. I think I might have that. I'd have to check the archives.
YouTube channel.
What?
Got to post it on the YouTube channel for the podcast.
No, I'm good. But no. All right, so that game, I like that game. Another good game that I overlooked at the start, but then quickly remembered. Actually, I'm kind of okay with this game. We have Stanford versus Syracuse.
Yeah,
Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord. Fucking, is he a dude? Is Kyle McCord a dude?
I think he's a dude. I mean, like, okay, so my thought process he was at Ohio State, and it didn't go great, but it didn't necessarily go bad when he was there.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
If you ask a Michigan fan, it went great. If you ask an Ohio State fan, it went awful. If you ask an unbiased party, they're like, I don't know, man. They went like what, fucking 12-1 or something, and like,
yeah.
What do you want from them? Like, what more do you realistically want from a quarterback? Like, so
this one is another weird one. Like, I'm a big Kyle McCord fan. I've been on Syracuse all year, but I also was on Stanford at the start of the year because I do like Ashton Daniels they have at quarterback. I like him. He's fun. Who did Stanford lose to? I don't even know. They lost the first game. TCU.
By 7.
They covered.
They did. I watched this game. Yeah. It was a much more entertaining second half than it was first half.
This is a weird one. This is the first time. I think Stanford's in the ACC, correct?
Stanford, yes.
They are, and this is the first time they're playing an ACC game, and they're flying California all the way to the other side of the country. How much does that matter in this? It could. It's a weird line. I like both of the teams, so I'm just in between on it. But
I might hit the under. I don't know about the line.
I feel like
or the
there's
spread.
the only thing that can happen in this game is points. I feel like Kyle McCord's already got 8 touchdowns this year. They're slinging it with him. They are.
Yeah, I don't know if
Stanford moving.
But I don't know if Stanford can match that. Is my thing. I could see Syracuse run away with it and be 38-17. 50.
Then
it's 56. That's 56. And it's 56 and a half. So I don't know if Stanford can keep up with them. They're going from the east, the West Coast, all the way over to New York. That's a haul.
Yeah, that's different.
It's a Friday. They already probably had a weird week of practice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They probably left yesterday. Is my guess. They didn't go
too smart. They're too smart to do that. This is Stanford. These are smart.
They didn't today.
No, they probably left on like Wednesday.
Even more. So then so they probably had a shortened week of practice. Maybe had a walkthrough yesterday somewhere in town. Oh man,
yeah, they've been there probably for a couple days, but I mean,
yeah,
it's
a hike.
I like Stanford, but I don't think there's any way I could pick against Syracuse at home with the situation that is. I just don't.
Yeah,
and I think that's why if I bet it, which now I've talked myself into, Kyle McCord, I mean, they're flying all the way across the country. The quarterback's red hot. You got the time change difference is 3 time zones. I mean, and it's not like Stanford's world beaters anyways. They don't really have a good defense in the first place. We're not talking about a West Coast team like USC who
they're a Cal. They're a Cal.
Yeah, this is like a middle of the road team with a very early, long trip. And
not only that, it's one of the first times that a California school, regardless, has had to go over and make this trip. So it's not like they've been
this week too.
Right. So it's not like they've done this before. This doesn't happen. You don't take your football team cross country frequently at all.
The only thing that scares me is a couple weeks ago, this did happen. Cal played Auburn to get ready to do the thing, going across the country to play a football game.
And that's only like half.
And they won.
It's only like half. Yeah, but is Auburn good? Yeah, right.
That's the debate.
Yeah. So Stanford hasn't left they haven't left California. They played at home against TCU and lost, beat Cal Poly, and they're gonna have to do it again next week because they got to go to Clemson.
I would assume they just stay out there for a week. Why?
You would think, but these are nerds. They have to go to class.
You think? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This could be successful for Stanford. This could be bad. So
now I feel better about the -9. I like this -9.
I think I do too.
I like the next 9
tonight.
Man, all right. Well, do you even want to touch San Jose State, Washington State?
Let me do a quick blurb. I'll do a quick two, maybe a minute. San Jose State, they're 3-0. They played nobody. They beat Sac State in the first week. I love Washington State tonight. This is on the CW. What's better than watching football on the CW in the Pac-2? Washington State just got out of the Apple Cup, so they're proven that they can win. Maybe a letdown spot, but the number's too small. 2 touchdowns against San Jose State. This is the first time they're playing in the Mountain West. I still think there is going to be a talent gap with the Pac-2 teams that are playing in the Mountain West. And I think it's higher than 2 touchdowns for a San Jose State team, which wasn't supposed to be good. They lost their quarterback, lost everyone. They're 3-0. So that's why the line is where it is. But imagine, if San Jose State, if this is a non-con game and it's not the Pac-2, you got 12, 13 points. Is crazy for San Jose State to go to Washington State. It just sounds like a runaway train in this one. And that's my opinion on it. That's all I have. I'm going on talent levels on the field showing today. And
I like it. I think, I like it. I think it makes sense. And why Washington State. So do you have Wazoo covering?
Oh yeah. That's my favorite one of the day. I don't even know. I got to figure out how to even watch the CW.
I believe it used to be on channel 18 on Spectrum. It used to be on channel 18, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah. Who fucking knows? That's where you have to go watch Live sometimes. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But let's get into a little more in some who we think has been very impressive, or at least or who like is a fucking train wreck. Can we just like refrain? Like obviously the biggest train wreck is Florida State, right?
No, like there's literally no competition to the biggest train wreck right now, other than Florida State. Wisconsin might be, but Florida State, I know, but Florida State's different. I asked the question like last week: is this the worst Florida State team of all time? It's got to be, right?
Are they going to win a game?
I don't know. Again, crazy enough, they are favorites again this weekend. They're playing Cal, the team I was just talking about before.
I'm like, give me Cal. Give me Cal.
I know you have to. If you are a crazy person, if you can still bet Florida State.
If you look at that team and go, yeah,
that's it.
I'm like, no, don't believe that. Yeah, I mean, the only other team I can say, all right, is Notre Dame, but. I think maybe Northern Illinois is just good, and they just kind of got caught. Like I don't think that was like those kind of games happen. Like every couple years they get a big upset like that. Northern Illinois, I love NIU. Almost committed there, but whatever. I was very close. But yeah, man, I don't. Notre Dame
put you on a track of Notre Dame. They do this every year.
Yes,
that's like a program issue with Notre Dame. They have to figure out how do we not look ahead on our schedule, because the talk is all the time Notre Dame in the playoff. The only way they can really make the playoff, because they're not in a conference in the new system, is they have to win out. You can't lose to NIU, but they underprepare for NIU.
If Notre Dame was supposed to be if Notre Dame was supposed to be number 5 in the country, that offense got smothered. So maybe NIU just has a legit defense. Maybe. I don't know.
I think NIU's good. I do. And I'm looking at like playoff projections. They're going to take one group of 5 team, and they're like the team now that's in.
If they could be it, because they don't play. They're all in conference. Well, they have to go. I think they got to go to NC State, not this week because they're at home against Buffalo. But I think they go to like an NC State team who's had struggles. NC State's had struggles. If they can get past NC State and they run the table in the MAC, now it's MACtion. You never know what's going to happen in the MAC.
Yeah, no, you don't.
But if NIU is undefeated MAC champions, or even maybe a one-loss MAC champion, like there will be no Power 5 Group of 5 team that has a better win than NIU. They just won't.
No.
Like,
I mean, I agree with you. The thing with Notre Dame is that I can't say they're a complete train wreck is because the next week they went up and put 67 up. That is just a blatant, we are not prepared to play NIU, and we did not take them seriously. Because the next week, everyone locks in and you destroy, not a good Big Ten team. I'm not going to say Purdue's any good, but 66-7.
Right. But even Purdue, in years past, when they upset Ohio State, Purdue had that little... They're the upset makers a little bit once in a while. They kind of have a reputation of stepping up and beating a team that they shouldn't. Now, obviously, that did not happen. They got their dick kicked in, but good on it. Good. I guess that's my point in saying why I can't put Notre Dame in it over Florida State, because Florida State hasn't fucking won yet. But Notre Dame came back and said, yo, time out. We were fucking around. My bad. Our bad. We're here though.
Florida State, it starts with the fact that they brought – I honestly don't think they're 0-3 if they did not bring in DJU.
DJU sucks.
It's crazy that they even brought him in. You saw what he did in his previous places. At Clemson, he was not very good. Why in the hell would a program like Florida State, Mike Norvell, you just went undefeated. You had Jordan Travis, and then you lost in the bowl game because your team gave up after you didn't make the playoff. But why in the world would you go from Jordan Travis to him and think you're going to fix him? And I think now that decision's going to probably cost him his job. Is there any chance he keeps his job after this? How does he even have his job now, in my eyes?
I was going to say, I don't know how he has it now. I'm hoping that they get to Florida State and let those two dumpster fires play each other. And then Billy Napier and Norvell both get fired.
Napier is getting fired. Now, Norvell, right. I don't understand what the love affair is with him.
I don't.
But, I get it. They did just go undefeated, and I think they would have had a fighting chance in a playoff if Jordan Travis is there. So, you can't just throw in the towel on him either. But this is college football. You're Florida State. You get a bunch of NIL money, and that is the quarterback you brought in. He's thrown 1 touchdown in 3 games.
Bad
and
player.
2 picks. And their running game stinks. It makes no sense. That program, you can't – doesn't matter if you went undefeated the year before. You can't do that at that program. You cannot do that at that program. It's
Correct.
Crazy. That is obvious train wreck.
Correct. So, shifting gears a little bit, who is the most impressive? I know who I have. Who is your most impressive of the season so far?
I'm in between on 2. The obvious one is probably Texas. I think because Texas have literally 1A, 1B at quarterback. And what they did to the national champs was pretty convincing.
Yes, it was.
I'm going in a different area. I think who's been most impressive to me is Tennessee.
That was my pick. So, spoiler alert, that's my pick. Yes. So
Tennessee was not – I don't think they were really hyped up as much in the beginning of the year to be like this superstar team. But, in the SEC, there's a clear path to the playoff. And with Nico at quarterback, I love that kid. He's good. He's fun.
Slinging it.
He's slinging it. He's going to make some mistakes the way he plays because he's pretty reckless.
Right.
But he's got all the tools. He's got a cannon too. So he fits perfectly in Tennessee.
Yeah, and they faced a ranked NC State team and put up 51 on them.
Whew.
They beat Kent State 71-0. They blitzed was it Charlotte? Chattanooga, not Charlotte. Chattanooga.
Yeah, it's not good.
69-3. They are dominating the teams they're supposed to dominate, and he's just slinging the ball around. He's got almost 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's slinging the ball. And
let me give you this: the average total yards right now for Tennessee is number 1 in the country.
Yep,
it is at over 600 yards a game. That's
absurd.
That's absurd. That is not even fair. They have guys rushing the ball. And that includes the quarterback, Nico. They have 4 guys who've rushed over 100 yards already. It's literally insane.
Yeah, they look like a force to be fucked with, to be reckoned with. I like them a lot. I'm curious when they start getting into their conference play.
Oklahoma this week. We can start with it right now. We can just say it. We can go through that. Oklahoma, college game days there. They're in Norman this week. But I'm just saying, the spread's 7. But if you got a team right now that's putting up 600 yards a game, I know they played on the NC State. I don't really care.
Oklahoma is not a SEC defense yet.
No,
they are still old Big 12 bullshit. We're slinging the fucking rock a bunch like that. The over-under is 56.5. I like that.
Dude, I think I'm just going to hammer Tennessee. Jackson Arnold, their quarterback, too. He's a sophomore. It's like his first year actually playing. I don't think he's convincing enough to me where I'm just saying, like, oh, yeah, this guy is totally going to be able to handle this big of a game. He makes me eat my words, but I've seen him. He's not bad. He's dual threat, but I don't see it with Tennessee. Tennessee is a force to be reckoned with. Arnold's ran for 159 yards himself, so it's a lot of the dual threat kind of things. Right. I don't think they can keep up with the Tennessee offense, and I don't think Oklahoma's defense is going to have an answer for Tennessee this week.
Right.
So we're all on Tennessee. That doesn't sound good.
Hammering Tennessee. Absolutely hammering Tennessee. I'm so in on that. I love it. Let's see, where else are we at? Yeah, so I mean,
other impressive teams, Ole Miss, as always. Ole Miss, though, in the beginning of the year, they like to just destroy teams. They cover spreads. Lane Kiffin is just destroying teams.
Yep.
And then Alabama, USC, I would say the other ones that are pretty impressive in the top echelon of things. Alabama, I don't know if it's that impressive to go into Madison anymore and just run up the score.
It's not.
But Milroe looks improved, I think. But again, the Badger game might throw everything out of loop.
Right.
And then USC had the big win against LSU the first week. And I think they're rolling from there. The quarterbacks kind of figured it out. I think they have that big game with Michigan this week. So
they do. So, okay. So we kind of talked about some quarterback play. Who are some, like, who's leading? I don't want to say who's leading. We know Cam Ward is the leader for the Heisman race. Who are one or two guys that could unseat him right now? Soon. Not right now, but who is hot on his trail?
Well, Nico, we can talk about him. Again, the offense he's running right now in the odds, he's plus 850. So he's fourth favorite right now. And if Cam Ward's plus 550 and he's the leader, that's just not enough. He played Florida. They're not good. So they played Florida 1 week. I think Nico, he has more of a chance because if he's putting up these crazy numbers in the SEC, if that continues, and he's going to get his chance at in the SEC as a whole, you got Jackson Dart, you got Milroe, you got Carson Beck, you got a bunch of guys that can play. I like him, but I also think Carson Beck too, who was up there at the top at the beginning of the year, and he's kind of fallen off because people honestly just get bored of Georgia destroying teams. So he's going to be there too. I think Nico is up there, definitely. I think Jackson Dart has a chance because of Ole Miss has about the easier schedule than anyone in the SEC. And Jackson Dart, Lane Kiffin's running up his stats. Lane Kiffin wants Jackson Dart to win Heisman more than anything. So
yes, he does.
He had like 30 straight completions like 2 weeks ago when they were up 50, and he's still throwing.
Yeah. I know we kind of touched on Raiola. I think if Raiola picks up numbers-wise, Nebraska keeps winning, I think the freshman's going to get there. My guy is Nico. He just is fun to watch. A sneaky pick, maybe Alan Bowman. That guy is slinging it for Oklahoma State, almost 1,000 yards already on the year. I think his touchdown interceptions 4-1. I think he's like 8-2 right now for touchdowns to interceptions. Oklahoma State in the Big 12, like, they don't got to worry about Texas or Oklahoma anymore.
Well, this is the game then this week. They got Utah.
They got Utah.
Who knows if Cam Rising's playing because he's always hurt.
Those two fucking ancient people.
Cam Rising's questionable for a 20.
I'm just going to say this right now. If Alan Bowman was still on the fucking Michigan Wolverines, we'd be repeating as national champions.
They also have Ollie Gordon, the running back. I think, in my opinion, he doesn't have the numbers yet this year. It's been a weird start for him. But I think he's like the best back other than the Gentry, the kid from Boise State. I think he's potentially the best back, could be in the NFL in the future. the best back out of this class.
He is probably going to be the most sought after.
Yeah, and he's really good. It's just he doesn't have the numbers yet, so I don't think there's any way he's going to get in the Heisman race.
Right.
Oklahoma State, Utah is a fun one too.
It is. But
yeah.
All right, so those are the races. I'm going to kind of go over the playoff predictions. This is according to CBS as of 3 days ago. On what it kind of looks like going into this weekend. At number 1, we have Texas, as they have Texas being the SEC champ. I think Texas doesn't take a step back with Arch Manning if Quinn is out for a while. So not even a part of concern. Either one of them.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Oh, interesting.
Then
they have number 2 as the Big Ten champion, Ohio State. Number 3, Miami as the ACC champ. 4, Kansas State is the Big 12 champ, which I might go to a Oklahoma State here.
I think I'm on the same boat as you. There's also the outside shout if, for example, it could all change this week. Again, that Utah.
There's some big games that have some big implications.
That's
why
it's game to start.
Yeah, so this is kind of going into what it looks like.
Right.
So then basically they have Georgia at 5, so you can flip-flop Georgia and Texas if you're on one way or the other.
They're both going to make it.
Yep. Ole Miss at 6, Oregon at 7, Tennessee at 8, which that's fine. Some of the SECs are just going to kind of
Oregon.
I don't know. They haven't looked great.
Not higher than the SEC schools in my eyes.
Correct. They haven't looked great. Tennessee at 9. Sorry, Tennessee at 8. Penn State at 9. Alabama at 10. USC at 11. I don't like that. Depends on how this week goes.
Oh.
And then they have NIU as 12. There's a couple other Power 5s like Memphis and UNLV are in there for the group of 5. Boise State and Liberty. Still too early to kind of weed out that group of 5 on who's kind of a leader out there. But as of right now, an NIU team that's undefeated with a win against Notre Dame, any prediction has to have them being the power. Until they lose, they have to be the group of 5 favorite.
Yeah.
So that would kind of be the projected first round. What?
My prediction loss for the group of 5. Texas State.
Oh.
They lost.
Sneaky pick.
All right, RIP. Lost by 3, unfortunately.
Fair. So based off this, the projected the first round games would be Northern Illinois at Georgia. Yikes! The winner would play Kansas State. Penn State at Tennessee. That'd be a good game. Winner would play Texas. USC at Ole Miss. That would be a Lane Kiffin reunion against USC. Winner would play Miami. I would probably take Ole Miss in both those games. Alabama at Oregon. Winner would play Ohio State. That's a good round as well. The 4 seed would kind of get bailed out or kind of get fucked. Like, hey, go play Georgia or Texas, most likely. Yeah. Yikes. So you said you probably have Georgia winning, so you flip-flop them in Texas.
I'm Georgia 1 until proven otherwise. Just straightforward. Georgia 1 until proven otherwise, and they continue not to prove me otherwise.
Yeah, but they did not look good against Kentucky.
No, it was ugly.
They won by 1.
Yeah, no, it was hideous. It was hideous, but I think there's now you have room for improvement. They've never had room for improvement.
That's true.
The defense is still the best. I mean, that defense could slow down like an Ole Miss, I think. And if you slow down an Ole Miss don't win either. So
right.
That, for example, I just think that defense is such a high level. They have NFL guys all over the field. So
yeah, that's true. But so then are we both kind of out? We don't think Kansas State wins the Big 12?
I don't. I'm an Oklahoma State guy just like you.
Yeah.
But if Cam Rising, I don't like the quarterback.
I could say Utah too. If Rising is healthy, but that's been the case for the last 7 years.
I know that's the problem.
So
if he was healthy, I think Utah beats Oklahoma State. Then it's Utah. But
yeah, so it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, everything else is kind of up in the air right now. Those are really the two: the SEC champ and the Big 12 champ. Ohio State winning the Big 10. That looks like a foregone conclusion at this point.
That
With
that
Oregon kind of taking a step back or seemingly struggling so far.
Does that at all hurt to hear that Ohio State's like the runaway or no?
No,
don't care anymore.
Because I heard that. I heard that for the last 3 years, and it never happened. They're going to run away with it. Oh, they got smacked in the mouth. Oh, well, now they got to go to Ohio State. They're not going to beat them again. Guess what? We beat them fucking again. CJ Stroud ain't shit. Oh, well, they can't do it this time. They're cheating. Oh, but not really. Get your dick kicked in again. Like, I can. I have a national championship. I'm fine. I don't.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
In the whole bullshit that I have to do with Ohio State fans, until they win a national championship again, we have the most recent national championship, so they can suck my dick. I don't care. So if I have to, they look like the best team in the Big Ten. I have to say that. I can objectively say that.
In anyone else's defense, they haven't played anyone either.
No. Any thought about ACC champ Miami? Anyone give Miami a run? Miami looks legit.
I think there could be, like, again, like I like Syracuse a lot. I like Syracuse a lot. They could beat them, I think. I mean, there's a few teams that are just like on the outs of there. Like you also have Clemson. They could also do something, I think. I don't know. Do you like Clemson at all? I think, weirdly enough, like when they played App State the week, Klubnik is not bad. I just don't like Dabo anymore. Like to the point where I can't really pick them. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't like Dabo enough. But I think Clemson gives a run for the money. I don't think Miami runs the table in the ACC. I think they're going to lose to somebody. I can actually look through their schedule, but I don't think it's going to be like just set in stone Miami. I don't think they're that good. I think they have hype off a Florida game, and that's great. Yeah. But Florida stinks. They stink.
Florida is not good.
They have an easy schedule. So when you look at Miami's schedule, it's at Cal, at Louisville. Tough game, by the way. Louisville's probably slept on in the ACC. Florida State, they have at home. They have Duke. Duke's horrid. At Georgia Tech, I guess sneaky game, but they're probably not as good as we once thought either. And then Wake Forest, they're bad. Then at Syracuse, the last game of the year, that could be a stone in their way. But I'm just saying, I don't think they're as good as people think. Like them to be like projected top 5 in the AP poll by the end of the year sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. Oh, this is annoying. I can't even save my bet because I'd have to go to Illinois. I can't bet on the Illinois game. That's fucking bullshit.
There you go. That's another.
I guess I'll go Wazoo minus 12.5 and Syracuse minus 8.5. It said 9.5 right now, so I'll probably buy it down to 8.5.
9.5 now?
It's 9.5 right now.
Oh boy.
Well, on FanDuel.
Oh boy. I can't get it at 10.
Well, that's at 6:30. Okay, so that's fine. I just gotta save the bet. Anything else that I super duper love? Maybe Cal. I love Cal.
We can go through picks too.
But yeah, okay. So there's that. Let's do some picks. Picks of the week. We don't got to touch on our teams that much because, I mean, Michigan.
Yeah, I threw that in there, but I don't. If I have something to say about Wisconsin, it won't be nice. So
yeah,
we'll stick with nice.
Oklahoma State. That's what I want. Give me Oklahoma State.
Like
yeah, fine. Give me the money line. That's okay. They're home dogs. I don't like. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right, so I can save that, and then
they're favorites on what I see.
All right, so I'm gonna roll with Tennessee minus 6.5, Oklahoma State money line. What did I just say? Syracuse minus 6.5 is actually not bad. I'm gonna go Syracuse minus 6.5 and Wazoo minus 12.5.
So let's start with one of the games of the weeks. Your Michigan Wolverines get a chance to, I think, revenge a loss against Texas.
Bingo. Yep.
And USC's coming. They're doing that first across the country trip in the Big Ten. A lot of that this week in college football. But does it matter? USC's like an NFL program, like damn near. So I don't think it matters as much for a size of program like that.
So here's
coming.
I'm not betting the spread. I do not trust their offense enough. So what I am on, because for those that don't know, Alec Orji is starting quarterback. Now the guy who was probably going to be the starter, Jack Tuttle, who was hurt, is apparently available. I swear to God, if I see a walk-on cancer survivor throwing the ball for my favorite team ever again, I am so fucking mad. I can't even stress. I love it. I love the story. That is a MAC story. That is not a defending national championship quarterback story. Fuck you. I have Michigan. Their team total is only 19.5. I could easily see them. They have a good field goal kicker. So easily could see Orji, some read option bullshit. They run the ball enough, score 2 touchdowns, get in position, hit 2 field goals. 20 points? My God, if we can't cover 20 points, I might kill myself.
I think we're at the point
in GTA, in GTA, in a video game.
The fact that you said you were like, I'm fine, I don't care about anything of this, and then all of a sudden,
I'm not fine. I'm not fucking fine. It's a lie. It is a coping method. I'm the defending national champions, and we can't find a fucking quarterback. It is infuriating. I have to make so many fucking excuses of why we suck at quarterback, and it's annoying. It is so annoying. So I hope we have orgies in the end zone this weekend. So what I have is Michigan total over 19.5. I have an Alec Orji touchdown. What else? I have it here. I have it saved. Let's see. What else do I have? That's one part. I have Alex Orji's rushing over 50. And I have Miller Moss 225 passing yards. And I have Michigan 14.5. That's what I have.
I really would love. I would love to agree with everything and the Michigan thing, and for a quarterback having his first start in the middle of the year, not like the middle, but 3 games in, and he's going to have his first start against USC. I think it's different. USC, I think the number might be a little bit small currently.
That's what I thought. I was like, God, I don't like 5.5. That seems too small.
I think USC probably wins this by a touchdown. I think I get the better quarterback with Moss. I don't get necessarily the better defense, but the defense compared to a quarterback that's thrown 5 passes this year, and now he's going to play USC, I'd rather take USC. I don't think the travel matters as much. It's not. It would if it's cold.
Midwest.
It ain't cold. It's whatever.
85, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, USC, they're like an NFL franchise. You can travel across country and not miss a beat. And I don't think USC really cares about academics as much as some other schools that we talked about earlier. So they're going to be prepared, I think. Lincoln Riley, as much as I don't like him as a coach, I mean, if it would be different if there's still Harbaugh involved in this game. He's not. I don't think it's going to be as bad as the Texas game, but it might not be good. And then it's really going to get ugly in Michigan land if you're raging about 20 points right now. And then if that quarterback doesn't do very well, then what? The tunnel.
We got Jack Tuttle. We got Jack Tuttle. Matt, longtime starter at Indiana, powerhouse program, I'll remind you.
And that's another thing. You said in your argument that you guys had a good kicker. Whenever we're getting into good kickers,
we do.
It's not looking good.
Hey, former Michigan kicker Jake Moody had like 6 fucking 50-yard field goals week 1. So we produce kicking talent. Zoltan Mesko back in the day, Patriots punter. Suck my dick. If we could catch a fucking punt, we would have been undefeated about 8 years earlier than we would have in 2016. But no, a punter couldn't catch a fucking ball, and we got sacked by little brother. Bunch of bullshit.
Anyways, I'm going to take USC.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I said, I think you get the better quarterback. I think you get not the better defense, but the quarterback thing is it's a big deal.
It's tough. All right, we kind of already talked about Utah, Oklahoma State.
Quickly, do or die game for Michigan. Do or die game for Michigan.
Absolutely.
That's all right.
I am fighting a bridge if this doesn't go my way.
Well, they're out of the playoff if they lose. Like for good.
No.
I don't think there's way back. I don't think
they still play Ohio State. They still play Ohio State and Oregon.
Well, yeah, you got to play Ohio State, but
Oregon,
USC. I don't know.
And Oregon.
If you can't beat USC, you can't beat the other two.
If they run the table,
yeah.
But probably. Yeah, do or die.
The hope is back. If they win, the hope is back.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. I am fully on board. All right, we already talked Utah, Oklahoma State, Tennessee, Oklahoma. We talked that. Any upset? Before we get out of here, any massive upset that you got, or not, or who's on upset alert? Your biggest upset alert.
God, if you have anything, you can start. I don't have necessarily one right off the top of my head. I'll give you something.
I do have one. I have one.
Go ahead.
Louisville.
Oh.
Georgia Tech.
Oh, okay.
Georgia Tech has the sauce. Georgia Tech has the sauce to do it.
I like that one.
Haynes King. They're in Louisville.
They just run the ball on anyone. So that's like a big deal in that game.
Yep. So that's mine. Louisville's only favored by 10. Give me a Georgia Tech possible upset. I like it.
Got one. All right.
Yep.
So I've been watching, everyone loves this Kansas State team. I don't love this Kansas State team. I think the quarterback's overrated. I mean, he's a hyped up guy that everyone likes, and I just don't see it. He beat Arizona. Arizona's given up like 37 points to New Mexico. Whatever. They were fake news. I think they're fake news. This game, they're going to Provo. They're 6.5-point favorites. This is a different trip for Kansas State. I'm not saying BYU's like some world beater team. This is a late night game in Provo. That place gets jumping, and I just think they have the guys to do it. Retzlaff at quarterback. He's another dual threat guy that's been running and throwing. But again, they've been close, Kansas State, the last few weeks to losing their first game. And I think the trip to Provo, again, a different trip. Big 12, different trip.
Now it's going to get done. Now they lose.
I think they lose to the Mormons.
I like it.
I'll take the Mormons winning, covering the 6.5. You might as well at that point just take the money line because it's like plus 200 something. So give me the Mormons. I think they're going to run the ball all over Kansas State. They don't have an inept quarterback like Arizona had last week.
Yeah, that was bad.
But also, I've picked Kansas State to lose like the last 2 weeks. So
you're just going to keep doing it until it happens.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I like it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like it. I might do both of our upsets in a little parlay. We'll fucking see what happens.
This is the first time that I was on the show saying it, so this is the only one that counts. And fun fact, last time Kansas State went to Provo, 1977. They lost 39-0.
If history tells us anything, the Mormons know how to fuck.
History does repeat itself.
It does. That's all we got, though. We came back. We had another full hour worth of college football. It's good to go. We're getting into some good shit. I got to get to Illinois to make the bets for tonight.
One more thing.
Do it. What do we got?
BYU's quarterback in 1977.
Dan Marino.
No. Well, Steve Young was there, but Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon was.
Jimmy McMahon. Jimmy McMahon. That's a good team. That's a good guy.
Kansas State.
I love it. I love it. There you go. That's your piece of advice. Follow it. Lose some money. Win some money. That will do it for us today. We'll be back next week. yeah, you can find us
We're
at
gonna come up with
MV3
a
Pod
schedule.
and
We're
MV3
gonna come up with a
Podcast.
schedule.
What?
We're gonna come up with an actual schedule.
Yeah, we are gonna get a schedule. We're gonna get online. We might be doing twice a week. We don't fucking know. We'll let the schedule. We'll let the schedule dictate. But yeah, find us MV3 Pod, MV3 Podcast on all socials, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Coach_gets on Twitch. We are here. We will keep bringing you sports and gambling advice. We have so much to go into every week. But that will do it for this week. Double episode. It'll be uploaded later tonight. Bang, bang, skeet, skeet. Let's do it. Let's have a good weekend. I will see you later. And let's win some money. Let's go.
Go Vikings.
Go Big Blue.
The only thing with the White Sox, I say they've been coasting into the playoffs, and Tampa Bay's been having to win. It just depends on who gets hot.
The Philadelphia Eagles do have an opportunity.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say the Atlanta Falcons.
No, fuck no.
Oh god, yeah, that would have been that would have been warranted.
Paul George to show up again, and they need Reggie Jackson to be the best point guard left standing outside of Trae Young, who's hurt.